Hi guys, I am back today with another video, and I've actually done this intro like a couple times now because I have some possibly upsetting thoughts about this release. So without further ado, today's video is all about the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Cremated palette. I also have the glosses. I did also get the bag. Well, this bag, there was another bag too. And I think it's a super cute bag. Really into it, but that's my taste. But I want to kind of tell you guys some difficulties I've had, and I'm sure that I'm not the only one that has experienced. Hopefully you guys can take it with a grain of salt, because I know not everybody has that kind of an experience, and I don't know. All I'm saying is, for anybody that is looking to order from his site, I want to give you a little bit of insight to my thoughts on the ordering process with them, and not just the ordering process, but their customer service situation as well. So the first thing is that I'm going to talk about is shipping times. Now, right now we are in the midst of coronavirus. Despite the fact that many states have already opened back up, I knew when I ordered that it would be quite a wait to get my items. Now, I will say this, Jeffree Star Cosmetics has been known for their extremely long shipping times, even before coronavirus ever started. In fact, the majority of the time something released there, and at Beautylish or Beauty Bay or anywhere else, I'd get it anywhere else before going to his site directly, because the shopping experience is always like really bad. The site is really hard because it immediately queues you. You can get kicked out, lose your spot completely, lose the products completely, and that, to me, I have anxiety, and I know it's stupid to get upset over makeup, but to go, oh my gosh, I was waiting in line, you know, this long in the queue, and then I've lost my spot, and now I've lost whatever item it might have been, is very disheartening. And I know that for other people that may be the case for them as well. So along with the shipping times, their website itself is just not a super fun experience, and so that's kind of my feedback there. But on top of those things, I would have to say that the customer service needs a lot of work. I have had to reach out to them a couple times because of things that have come up or questions that I've had, and for the most part, it is really hard to find somebody who treats you like you're a person and not just an annoyance. And I find that to be very frustrating, because usually when I'm ordering, I'm spending at least $150. Now, I guess some people may go, oh, that's not a lot of money. For me, I go, that's a lot of money. So if I'm going to be investing that kind of money, it's frustrating to be treated like I'm just a nuisance and I need to go away. So there is that. I have not been the only one treated like this. I have another few friends that have talked to me about their experiences with this customer service team, and to me, like, if you're in that type of role, you have to like people or like what you're doing, and if you're not in the right job. So if you can't speak to people with empathy and care about their situation, you may not be able to fix it, but at least listen to them, make them feel heard. And then just let them know, hey, I'll pass this information along. I really am sorry about what's going on, or let me see what information I can get for you. Just treating them with a little bit of respect goes a long, long way when there's an issue. That's all I'm saying. The other thing I found to be kind of disconcerting was that they do not ship by order number. So if let's say there's 5 people that have placed orders, I was the last one to check out, and you know, my other friend was the third one to check out, and the person who placed their order first still hasn't gotten their order. Now, and the thing that I think is really interesting here is my friend, her friend, and I all got the same stuff. So it's not like, you know, this person ordered a lip gloss and so they shipped theirs first because it was easy. Not the case. We all got the exact same thing. We all live in the same area, and my one friend got done very badly. And in fact, I will include some screenshots of her situation so you can check them out. But her order was before mine even, and they just told her that they couldn't fulfill it because of some kind of issue. And they did a restock on Friday, and they're doing another restock this coming Friday with all of their retailers. So I find that to be very frustrating for her. I know if it were me, I would be not very happy, especially considering they don't go in order, and we all are right by each other. So that just doesn't make a lot of sense. I can understand, like, for small orders or certain areas that are closer or whatever, you know what I mean? There's probably practices that do allow for that, but in this case, I don't get it. I don't get it. And when I asked, I was flat out ignored. They did not care to respond. The times that they did respond were very rude. Hi guys, Editing Jaclyn here. I just thought I'd let you know that when I emailed them initially, I asked them about why the orders weren't being shipped by order number, and when they responded, they said that it was not realistic to ship by timestamp, but I didn't ask them about timestamp, I asked them about order number, and so when I messaged them back specifying that I had asked about order number, they never wrote me back, and then I wrote them back again, and I said, did you guys see this message, essentially, and they never said anything again. So I thought, before I included that clip, it'd probably make more sense to tell you what I asked them. Then in the second time where I tried to reach out and speak with them, I actually let them know that I wanted to leave feedback about customer service, and they continued to send me generic responses about tracking, which is not what my inquiry was regarding. And so I will include all of the times that I tried to speak with them and their responses, so you guys can check them out for yourselves, so you can see that it is very frustrating. And I apologize, you're probably gonna go, ooh, she got heated towards the end of it, but it was because I literally asked to speak to somebody in customer service that I could leave feedback with that was actually going to care. And they kept talking about tracking, which was not something I was bringing up at all in that conversation, not even remotely. So okay, so editing Jaclyn back again, and I just had to let you know there was one more message that came after this from me, essentially saying that the help that I was getting was laughable and that I was really frustrated because they literally were ignoring my messages about wanting to leave feedback and just continuing to talk about tracking, which I was not, hopefully you guys can see, remotely asking for in any of my messages. So I thought it was just like really weird that they kept on about it. So if I'm crazy and I talked about tracking and I didn't realize it, can you let me know below? Because maybe it's there and I just never saw or remembered talking about it. But in any case, so I probably look, I don't know, you guys might think I'm a jerk or maybe that I was overreacting, but I just didn't understand why they were not responding to the questions that I was actually asking rather than just talking about tracking. It didn't make sense. So if I'm a Karen, I'm really sorry. I wasn't like, I don't know. Anyway, hopefully you guys will just take it for what it is, that it was a customer service experience that I just did not understand. And I don't want somebody else to have or go through, because I feel like... So, I know that some people will be upset with me for having these opinions and letting you guys know about them, but it is what I've experienced, and I don't want other people to have that same experience. So, if it's me, and this is just being honest, and you can pick these things up at Beautylish, Beauty Bay, any of his other third-party retailers, do it there. Because honestly, at JSC, I don't feel like they care about their customers. Oh, I said it. I think Jeffree Star cares to a point. I think that he doesn't like to let things bother him, and I get that. Like, I have anxiety, I have panic attacks, so I can understand not wanting to let all the bullcrap in constantly, because I couldn't handle it. But at the same time, I think that there's a lot of people out there that are looking for jobs that probably would care about his business and how it's coming across a lot more than the people that are in those positions currently. Sorry, I'm just saying that. Jeffree Star, please don't hate me, because I really think you're great, actually. I think you're funny, and I love that you take time to take care of yourself, and that you have outreached and tried to help others, and you've given back. I love that. I think that's great. But as far as customer service, it really has a long way to go. And shipping practices. I'm sorry. Without further ado, I want to do some swatches for you guys, and I am going to show you all of the lip glosses as well. So I'm going to start at the top and go to the bottom, left to right, and then actually I'm going to start with the glosses very first. Now, the thing I want to talk about immediately is this packaging. It is so pretty. This is definitely hands down my favorite gloss packaging of his. I mean, the shape's still the same, but this is stunning. Like, it is game-stoppingly gorgeous. This has got like a holographic kind of finish, which you probably can't catch in this lighting, but it is just really classy, really beautiful. I'm going to put this one on real quick, and this is Heaven's Gate, and I'm wearing Mannequin liquid lipstick right now. Oh! That is gorgeous. Okay. I love it. I love it. Thinnest swatches ever. That is Heaven's Gate. And actually, you know what? There's... It's very close to the color of my skin. So I'm sorry. I'm really, really fair. So stuff that is fair tends to blend in with my skin. The next color is Corner's Kiss. And this is a green toned gray. I kind of went a little sideways with this, so I'm sorry about that. This one is kind of like a slate gray, and it is Funeral Parlor. It's a little bit blue toned. No, not a little bit. It is blue toned. It's a blue toned slate. And I will post pictures of these on my Instagram so you guys can see them closer up. And the last one is 6 Feet Under. And this is definitely a blue-gray color. But much darker. Now, I will say I have kind of used them in my video already. And they just add a little bit of tint to your lips where it's just like a little wash of color, not anything super obtrusive or anything like that. So I am going to start at the very top with the color Hearse. And actually, you know what? Now that I've said this, I'm going to start at the bottom right, go to the left, and work my way up because that's lightest to darkest pretty much. So the very first color I'm going to swatch is Diamond Ashes. Now, I did use this color on my eyes today. And I normally would take these swatches a lot further down, but I'm going to try and get them all on my arm. The texture of this is really waxy, and I wasn't expecting it because I've used some of his new shades already before. But it reminds me very much of Makeup Revolution's formula of some of their waxy shadows. So I'm really sorry, but that's the only one so far I've touched and I've not liked. Just saying. The next shade is Death Blow, and I did use this on my lid today as well. Not lid, well, on my crease, upper crease. And it is so soft. Oh my goodness gracious. Just a really lovely color. Well, it's white, you know, but it's nice to have a nice white color. And it was. These colors, when I used them on my lids, worked fantastic. The next color is Casket Ready. I pretty much used everything in the first row, I think. And this is a little bit more gray beige undertoned. And I apologize, in the background you may hear I've got the Pat McGrath like a masterclass going on. I didn't want to miss it, but I also didn't want to wait another day to give you guys this video because I actually got this all yesterday. And I've been getting a lot of migraines, so unfortunately I'm just trying to film when I can. So the next color is Afterlife, which is kind of a, put it there, like a champagne color, but it looks more peachy in the pan. So it does have a bit of peach to it. Beautiful kind of shine to it as well, which unfortunately I don't think that the camera is doing much justice to it. But the next color is Burial Gown. I've said this like 10 times. I'm sorry, you guys. For some reason, I can't get it out. But this is more yellow toned. Beautiful color. Also wearing that. The next color is Obituary. And this is just a beautiful gray toned tan. My grandpa used to have a truck that was this color. He restores classic cars and trucks. Not so much now because he's in his late 80s, but he had a truck that was that color and it was so pretty. Maybe slightly more tan, but very similar to that. Okay, so the next row, I'm going to start with the color Goodbye. I don't know why I said that like that. Goodbye. Like AOL back in the day. Anybody else that's from the AOL days, holler at your girl. And, oh, that's it. Oh, I wish I would have used this color on my eyes. That's interesting. It's shimmery. It's gray, green. I don't even have like a great description for it. I'm going to try and get the best picture ever of that. It is so gorgeous. Holy crap. I really like that. The next one is Last Respects. And this is kind of a green toned tan gray as well. Slightly deeper than Obituary and more green and undertone. Next one is Eulogy, which is a fairly, well, it's kind of got like a purple undertone gray, in my opinion. Okay. So there's that. The next one is Embalmed. And that looks kind of like Goodbye in the Pan, but without the green undertone. It's got a slight shimmer to it, but it's not like a true shimmer shade, if that makes sense. I'm like really shocked that there are this many diverse colors of gray out there. Very interesting. This next one is Mausoleum, and I have this on my lid today, and I really like this one too. That is a gorgeous brown, and it's glittery and really, really pretty. Okay, so for the next two rows, I'm just going to go underneath what I've got going on right now. The first color is the Morgue. And I have this on my eyes today as well. Beautiful. Kind of, it's weird because in the pan it looks like a, I don't even know, like a brown gray. And it is a brown gray. We'll just call it a brown gray. The next one is Solemnly Swear, which of course I love the name of. And this is almost like a blue-purple gray. The next one is Last Look, which I also used on my eyes today. And this is kind of like a brown shimmery. Oh my gosh. It's easy to grab too much of this, so I've got to say, if you use this, be careful, because you will dig into the pan very, very quickly. And you don't want to, because it is probably my favorite color in the palette. Like, oh, so pretty. The next color is Mortuary Beautician, and it is kind of the exact same color as 6 Feet Under, in my opinion, in the tube. Very shimmery. And I actually have a friend that she wanted to do that for a living, and I don't know why she didn't continue with it. She's kind of like also talented at a lot of random things as well. She bakes, and she's my friend who brought over the cupcakes, if you guys remember. Whoo, she's like one of the best bakers ever. And I'm looking forward to my son's next birthday, one of my son's next birthdays, so that we can get more of her goodies. Just saying. The next color is Wednesday, and this is probably, in my mind, like a true gray. But now that I've swatched it, it still looks like a true gray. Slight blue to it. Sorry, I keep tapping my camera. The next color is Inheritance, which is a green gray. Kind of like an army green gray, in my mind. And I used this today as well. Really, really like this color. The next color is Pallbearer. And I did not get to use this. Ooh, that feels so nice on my finger. Creepy. That is so pretty. Hopefully now that I'm turning my arm a little bit, you can see just some of the beautiful shine to these. The next color is R.I.P. This is a gorgeous gray as well. Okay, they're all grays. Come on, they're all good. Anyway, still has a little bit of green undertone, at least in this lighting. A little bit. The next color is Death Certificate, which I used on my eyes today as well. Probably my second favorite color in this palette so far. And swatched, it looks more blue undertone, but I'm telling you, in this lighting that I have right now, it looks more like brown-gray undertoned. But in the camera, it's coming across more blue. Really pretty. Okay, the next one is Gravedigger, which, of course, just makes me think of Gravedigger that drives, like, monster trucks, I think. And this is kind of a purple undertoned gray as well, to me. There's that. The next one is Angel of Death. I can't wait to touch it. Oh, it's got that beautiful slippery feel that some of his new formulations have had. That is a really good black glittery shade. I can't wait for a real reason to use that. And I didn't match these up perfectly as I did the swatches, so I'll just do Hearse kind of as a long swatch because we always want to see how a black's going to do. Ooh, okay. Maybe me here. Let's try a different finger. That finger might be swatched out. It's coming up really good on my fingers, but it's not swatching the best on my arm. However, as we all know, swatches are not the only and best way to check a shade all the time. So keep that in mind. This is just so you guys have a good idea of color, not performance necessarily. I do intend to use this more, and maybe I'll do another video with it if you guys want to see it. Just let me know in the comments below if that interests you at all. But let me get a little bit closer so you guys can see this. And move my arm around a little bit. Show you some of the shifts in these colors, like the actual glitter and shine. Anyway, I hope that those were helpful to you. I'm going to include a video of me doing my eyes, what I have on them today, and if you guys want to check that out, keep watching because I use a lot of the shades, and I feel like while this is a gray toned look, it's kind of more of like I use the more green and tan tone shades rather than the true gray shades. So if you're interested in that, check it out, definitely. And I apologize to anybody whose feelings I might have hurt by talking about the things that made me frustrated and that I felt like are an area to improve upon. And I would never want to offend anybody. And I know that Jeffree Star only has so much control over what happens in his actual factory because he can't be there working every day. And even if he was working there every day on a line, he can't control every single person, and he can't control every single customer service representative. So this is just me speaking about my experience and also another friend's experience, and I will include those shots so you can check them out a little bit, but not meant to start any drama or stir the pot or anything like that, just to give you a little bit of information for when you are going to place orders in the future and possibly maybe waiting, because it might be worth it to wait for a restock at one of his third-party retailers because they tend to, in my opinion, handle things better. I'm sorry, guys. Anyway, I'll see you guys in a second. Okay, I am back. I have my eyeliner on. I have my mascara on. I have actually added a little bit of Coroner's Kiss to my lips. And you can tell it kind of changed the actual color and dimension of Mannequin, the liquid lipstick that I have from Jeffree Star. And I really like it. I think that if you used it maybe just in the middle or maybe even on the outside of your lips, it'd be interesting. You know, I think it didn't really, it kind of changed the color. It made it slightly grayish, silverish toned, but not in a way that I think it looks like overtly gray and like gross and smashed down. So I think depending how you use these, you can really get a lot of benefit from each of the colors. So, you know, some days you may be wearing a lipstick that's really bright or that's not quite the right tone, and that's where I think that these colored glosses that he comes out with are really unique and interesting to kind of twist and turn and change the look of what you're doing, which is of course makeup. You know, it's makeup. Anyway, so this is my final look. I tried to kind of stick with the colors that are not so gray toned. I tried to go with like yellow gray, green gray, brown gray kind of tones from the palette because those are more my style. True gray and blue gray tones don't tend to look very good on me. And that's just my opinion. That's how I feel about it. However, I've got to say, every single shade that I put onto my eyes was fantastic. The only one that I think is a little different is Diamond Ashes. And I used some of the other, I can't remember what he calls them, but I've used some of the other glitter shades that he just changed to with this palette and added a few of in the Bloodlust palette as well. And I feel like Diamond Ashes is kind of waxy in the actual texture of it, and so it makes it hard to apply. It's not that it's bad, and it's not that it's hard to, it's not that it's bad, and it's not that it doesn't work, but it just applies in a different type of way. I have got to play with it more to see what I think will work best for that, but right now, I did put it as a highlight shade, and I did put it on the center of my eye, but it's kind of not what I thought it was going to be, so there is that. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video and that you took everything that I said about the launch and customer service and everything else going on with a grain of salt and make your own choices as to whether or not this is something you want to purchase or any other purchases directly from Jeffree Star Cosmetics, because I just feel like they really need to change the way that they do things. And I know that I'm sure he'll never watch my video because I'm a tiny YouTuber, but should he ever see this, he would probably tear me apart, which makes me sad because I just think he's great. But at the same time, I think everybody has room for improvement, and I definitely feel like JSC, they are no longer, I mean, they're a small company, they're an indie company. Maybe they're not as small as they still feel like they are, and they have shipping challenges that I think need to be overcome. Yes, we know that coronavirus has been going on, though pretty much everywhere else opened back up, so just saying. But even before that, even before coronavirus, there's always shipping problems from pretty much the get-go. I don't know a lot of people that didn't have to wait at least 2 to 3 or more weeks to get their stuff even before all this happened. But the bottom line is, it doesn't take a lot for a company to have a caring set of customer service representatives, and if they can't, then they need to find people that are, because when you're in a job where you speak with people consistently, you need to be empathetic and caring to their needs and their questions and their concerns and not just brush them off. Like, anyway, I hope this video was helpful. If it was, make sure you guys leave a comment down below. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and ring the bell for future updates. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.